an article that came out in The Guardian last year shows how the sugar lobby has paid scientists to blur sugar's role in heart disease. And this is interesting because it started doing this back in the 60s, the sugar lobby. There was a historical document that was published in the Journal of American Medicine. It's almost over 50 years old. But what it does is it shows the decades-long battle of the sugar lobby. The sugar lobby, there's a great documentary also called Fed Up. And it talks about how the sugar lobby has been acting, and this is more evidence of this, like the tobacco lobby acted. Buying people off, paying for fake studies, paying off doctors to show that it wasn't that bad for you. And then who else plays along? The corporate media plays along. A new study shows that chocolate actually makes you better, or whatever. There'll be one of those stories. And this, I'll go into the details, shows how ridiculous it is, and how so much of what the information we're given and literally fed, no pun intended, it's more corporate nonsense. This is another example. It might seem like, Graham, why are we talking about the sugar lobby? We should be talking about the DNC or whatever. And it might not seem relatable, but I disagree. Everything is relatable. This is another example of what Hedges has talked about, or in this case, the 5 decades long corporate coup of American journalism, research. This is what he's talked about. The Journal of American Medicine, right? We should be getting sound, real information. No, that's been bought out. Every liberal institution, that's why Death of the Liberal Class makes so much sense, and this is more evidence of it, has been bought out by the corporate state. Every single one. So I'm going to give you some evidence here. The findings come from documents recently found by a researcher at the University of San Francisco, which show that scientists at the Sugar Research Foundation, known today as the Sugar Association, paid scientists to do a 1967 literature review that overlooked the role of sugar in heart disease. The SRF set an objective for the review, funded it, and reviewed drafts before it was published in the New England Journal of Medicine, which did not require conflict of interest disclosure until 1984. 3 Harvard scientists, Harvard. We've talked about Harvard before. Harvard has been given a lot of money by the CIA, by corporate state, and all this stuff like that. So just, if it's a Harvard scientist, they're the top tier. 3 Harvard scientists who wrote the review made would be in today's money would be about $50,000 for the review. That's not bad. That's not a bad day's work to just kind of not talk about how awful sugar is. Marion Nestle, a nutrition, food studies, and public health professor at New York University, said the food industry continues to influence nutrition science in an editorial published alongside the JMA report. Today, it is almost impossible to keep up with the range of food companies sponsoring research, from makers of the most highly processed food, drinks, and supplements to producers of dairy foods, meats, fruits, and nuts, typically yielding results favorable to the sponsor's interests. I've had so many people go, you shouldn't. I'm like, can you put soy protein in that? Like, I'm at a Jamba Juice or something. Oh, soy is bad for you. And I'm always like, can someone show me the actual study that says soy protein's bad for you? If it is, okay, fine. But a lot of people are like, soy protein's bad. It does this and this. Who paid for this? The American Dairy Association? Do you see what they do? They always do this. The oil companies pay for climate change denying. If the sugar industry pays to say that sugar's not that bad for you. I remember they had this ad going, high fructose corn syrup, is it really that bad? Oh boy. Food company sponsorship, whether or not intentionally manipulative, undermines public trust in nutrition science, contributes to public confusion about what to eat, and compromises dietary guidelines in ways that are not in the best interest of public health. It's just unbelievable, because it's just like, you can't trust anyone. It's not a coincidence that like organic food is more expensive than processed food. Thank the good people at Monsanto for that shit. This is what, I mean, it might seem like, Graham, what's the connection here? But people, the Donna Brazile video that I did that just came out about Donna Brazile coming clean about how the Clintons, gave money to the DNC, and she was able to run that party from August of 15. You might be like, what does this have to do with sugar? It shows you that everything is corrupt. It shows you that big money buys everything. You can't believe anybody. And they tried to discredit Donna Brazile. Oh, Donna Brazile's crazy and lying. NPR verified it. Like, I heard of someone I knew whose dad was like a high school biology teacher suddenly say, oh, sugar's not that bad for you. What? People have gone apeshit nuts, and it just shows you the corporate state does not care about anything other than pure profit. Does not care about anything. Doesn't care if you get diabetes or heart disease or... Coke has spent all this money to they funded... in 2015, the New York Times showed how Coca-Cola has funded millions of dollars in research to downplay the link between sugary beverages and obesity. Anyone out there watching this, if you've ever just stopped sugar for a week or two, you lost weight, right? And it's in everything in America. I notice it like when I travel abroad, like when I go to Japan, there's just the portion size and everything has sugar in it. I bought like vegan cream cheese has sugar added to it. Vegan cream, why? The sugar lobby has gotten the percentages of sugar taken off of nutrition labels on the back of food. It's unreal. I mean, I'm glad there's, the New York Times is trying to cover a story. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're trying to talk about it in some way. But it's just pretty brutal. Another example of how the corporate state is lying to us. And just because someone is a doctor or a scientist from Harvard doesn't mean that they are telling you the truth, because they might have a $50,000 check in their pocket telling them to say otherwise. The financial industry has done this. They have hijacked colleges to say that what the bank, that to not hold the banking industry accountable. The sugar industry it's unreal at every turn. Well, I won't lie to you guys. I'm here to tell you sugar's bad. Don't eat it. Just like your mom and your grandmother and everybody else told you when you were a little kid, it still holds true today. And Coca-Cola hasn't fixed it. Thanks for watching, and support the show at patreon.com/GrahamElwood. And like and subscribe and share these videos out to people.